What's up, suckers? It's me. I'm back, and I've got another app review for you. And this one is amazing. I love this app, so I'm very, very excited to talk to you guys about it. But before I do that, if this is your kind of thing, I don't just do app reviews. I have been doing a lot of those lately, but I also talk about having an ADHD brain, working with it, making your day work for you with an ADHD brain. If that is your kind of thing, please make sure you like and subscribe. That helps really cool people find me, helps me find really cool people, and that is just the spice of life, is it not? Of course it is. Anyway, let's get to talking about Sunsama. And first, we're going to talk about what Sunsama is, and they actually have like their whole story on their website, which is amazing. You guys know how often I try to check for that and don't find it, so I'm very impressed. They've been around. They are a daily task planner, digital task planner, that has been around since 2018-ish. According to their very own website, their whole focus is to help you have a greater work-life balance that's going to be less likely to run you into the ground and result in burnout. What do I love about Sunsama? How much time do you have? So far, of all of the apps that I have planned, when we are talking about an app for keeping work tasks together, to keeping things balanced, it is my absolute favorite. It is just all kinds of fantastic. So first off, one of the things that I always tell my clients to do when we sit down together is to try to sit and actually plan their day out. Because if we just kind of go about our day with no plan, one of two things generally tends to happen. First, the first option is that we wind up running out of steam real quick because we kind of just don't know where to go next. And when our minds get confused, they also tend to get tired. And so then we get through the day without doing anything that we really wanted to do. The second option is that we wind up just kind of doing random things that we can think of off the top of our heads and wind up missing something that was actually a priority. So sitting down to plan our days ahead of time actually kind of forces us to be intentional, and it forces us to actually think about the things that we are going to put our energy towards. That doesn't always work on the whole energy management front, but a lot of the time it actually does help, because then you kind of already know in the back of your mind that you are planning on putting forth the time to do one thing or another. Sunsama, at the beginning of every single day at a time that you indicate, urges you to sit down and plan out your day. And it doesn't just kind of tell you to word vomit it out and then figure it out yourself. What it does is it asks you to plan out your day, to add your tasks, to make sure that you are checking all of your important calendars and important task management or project management software. And then it has you basically, before you even figure out anything, ask yourself, in terms of priority, is there anything that I can actually do tomorrow? And it removes the shame of not doing everything that's on your mind today. And then it pushes you to time block so that you have an idea of when during the day you're going to do these things, which is also amazing from an energy management perspective, because if you know that you're going to be tired in the morning, for example, you also get a chance to put the important things where they belong in the morning when you know that you're going to have the energy to do it. So that is fantastic. You're also able to plan out objectives for the week. I sometimes, when I'm feeling really up to it and really motivated on Sundays, will be like, man, there are some things I really want to get done this week, and I tend to wish I could plan the whole week out, or at least plan the important things for that week. Sunsama allows you to do this with the objectives option, and as you add tasks either in the moment or as you go through the week, it gives you the option to align those tasks with your objective, which makes it so that you kind of get to keep a good close eye on the thing that you said you wanted to do. Kind of teaches you to keep your eye on the prize. And I don't know why, because there are a lot of softwares out there that have really cool UIs. I don't know why I like Sunsama so much, but I do. I think it's because it is so it's simple, but it's still pretty, and it's very easy to figure out. There's nothing really about it that's difficult to figure out all on your own, and it doesn't need a ton of setup. I always bring Amazing Marvin up because while I love their UI and I love the way that it looks, I will say that, and comments have brought this up to me, that the setup is a lot. So unless you're the kind of person who really loves to sit and just build new dashboards all the time, it can be a bit much. Sunsama doesn't need a lot of setup to have it immediately working for you the way that it's meant to work for you, which is fantastic. It also allows you to set up different channels to keep track of your work that way, which is kind of like filters, but in my opinion, it's a little bit better because you're able to see everything, not just according to, a filter that you've put on it, but what part of your life it fits into. It allows for color coding, which is a big deal to me. If you've been following me long enough, the color coding is a huge deal to me too. And so when you're doing your time blocking, you actually get to see those colors, those assigned colors, in order to help you keep track of what you're paying the most attention to that day. And it also even gives you like a little pie chart in case you had any doubt that shows you, hey, this is how much of your day you've been spending on these different parts of your life, which is also a great way to make sure that, most days you've got a pretty even split. I think the most special thing about Sunsama actually is its dedication to keeping you grounded and intentional about where your time goes and how your energy is spent. I cannot stress enough that ADHDers really need to pay a lot more attention to where their energy is going. And I know that you might be listening to this saying, I don't really always have control over where my energy goes. And I hear you. But at the same time, in my experience at least, a lot of us also tend to forget that we aren't made to be working 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day if we don't have to. And that we're especially not meant to go for weeks upon weeks upon weeks without giving ourselves time or giving ourselves an opportunity to work on things that we like. So what Sunsama actually does is not only does it help you plan your day, but in the beginning of the day, it actually kind of pushes you to reflect on the day before. And at the end of the day, it has something called the Sunsama shutdown, which is great for a couple of reasons. The first being that it goes over your day with you, showing you what you got to, what you didn't get to, what's going to have to wait till tomorrow. It encourages you to write notes on how you think your day went, and then it helps to set up an end for your day, a specific cutoff end. So once you've done that, it helps you, especially if you've got ADHD, but anybody really, it helps you with a cue to let you know you're done for the day. You have thought of all of your work tasks. You've gotten all of those things together. Now is the time to move on to the things that also matter outside of work. They also just added, just recently, reminders to take breaks, which is so important because if I had a nickel for every time that I have spoken to a client who forgets to drink water, go to the bathroom, eat, take breaks, I don't think I'd have to do this channel anymore. So that is also a fantastic thing. I'm so glad it's there. It's in beta, but it is now available. And then I've kind of alluded to this already, but Sunsama integrates with a lot of different productivity apps that you might use, including ClickUp, Gmail, Asana, Jira. And if I did not say that right, I apologize in advance, but it integrates with so many different things, so you don't even really have to go to any of those to check to see what it is that you should be focusing on today. You just integrate it, click on that particular app, and it'll show you, hey, these are the things that you have with a due date for today, and you just click and drag it over, and it's part of your schedule for you to time block. Now, of course, I don't like to glaze over the things that could be improved, and Sunsama is no different. There are a few things that were driving me a little crazy, but not enough for me to not love it. The first thing being that with its almost flawless focus on energy and intentionality with where that energy goes and what your day is supposed to be about and planning your week ahead, Sunsama does not have a direct way to indicate priority of tasks, which can be worked around, but is also just a very bizarre thing to be missing, in my opinion, especially since, it's so ADHD friendly already. You would think that, you could just add like one little flag or color or something to help indicate when something is urgent. And obviously there are ways to work around that, right? You could even do that with the channels option, but it would just be so much greater if that existed. Also, Sunsama's phone app leaves a bit to be desired. They do have a mobile app. You are able to add tasks and move them around, but it is lacking in some of the same functionalities as the desktop version. Namely, you don't plan your day, yet you do have that option, I think, starting now in beta, but it is not something that is considered just like a native option. And it would be so great if you could use the Sunsama app the same way you use desktop. That would, I think, be the cherry on the absolutely beautiful Sunsama cake. And then, this is more of a personal thing, but I do think that Sunsama could rock a habit tracker, and it does not have one, which I really wish it did. And I kind of understand why, because Sunsama is more of a work app. It is more to help you keep a work-life balance. So the less personal things that you have to keep track of in Sunsama, the better, but it would just still be really cool. I'm just saying. So in conclusion, I think Sunsama is probably one of the most ADHD friendly apps I have found out there that is a bigger named app. During my time working with it, I can honestly say I got more done with it than I have with anything else that I have tested thus far, besides maybe Amazing Marvin. It just, something about helping you to dedicate your time to making sure that you're not so tired at the end of the day that you're not getting anything done really lends itself to you getting more finished by the end of a week. It's a really simple yet beautiful situation that Sunsama just knows how to run, and it runs it in a way that works really well for brains like ours. And I ended every day satisfied with what I'd gotten done. Even if I didn't finish everything and there was something to carry it over to the next day, I still felt good about what I had finished. Frankly, I feel that if you are looking for something that's going to help you not feel quite as stressed out at the end of the day, or not make you feel quite as lost in what you're doing, this is a great app for you. Sunsama is available on the major platforms. That would be iOS, Android, Mac, Windows. It is available for a 14-day trial, which I have a link for in the description. And then after that, you have the choice of either paying $20 a month, or you can pay a yearly fee, which comes up to about $16 a month, or $192 a year. As for who should and shouldn't use Sunsama, I would say that Sunsama is amazing for business owners, be it a small business owner or a business owner who has a large team. I think it's beautiful for anybody who cares about making sure that they and or their employees leave the day feeling like they've got a much better balance going on every day. Anybody who spends a lot of time at their desk, I think, is also going to find a lot of value in Sunsama. If you are a stay-at-home parent or someone who is regularly away from your desk, I don't think that this is going to be the app for you. It's not going to help you out as much as it would the other people I mentioned. And I give a special shout out to students. I don't think that this is going to be great for students simply because of the price point. If it is something that you can afford, though, I think it would be beautiful for students. So if you are a student who can handle the price tag, I say go for it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I love doing these. I can't wait to do my next app review, which I believe is going to be TickTick. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you've used Sunsama, drop a comment and let me know what you thought. If you decide to try it, don't forget that my link is in the description to do so. Let me know what you think. Drink plenty of water, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video or on the next podcast episode.